Are you still on drugs, Aiden?
No, I'm not. How's your case going?
Oh, well, I am a rapist, as you saw. I saw that on Twitter. You said I was a rapist. But, I'm kind of leaning into it now. Like, I'm a human. That's how I got so rich. How did you get that Bugatti? I human. When they come up to me with the TikToks, what's your job? I'm like, I human. That's what I do. So, I have no problem with you saying that. In fact, I kind of like the rumor. It's kind of cool. Street cred.
But it was a joke. I know you're not a rapist.
No joking. No joking. Don't make me with your mom. Don't make me do it. I'll find her ass and I'll make it real.
Well,
so stick to your words.
You can't leave the country, so that's impossible.
I will human your mother, Aiden. Don't with me.
How? You can't even leave the country.
Yet. The case is falling apart in real time, and I need some new, some new spice in my life. Like they've only raided my house 4 times. I wake up at 5 a.m. every morning expecting the busting with guns, and when they don't, I'm kind of like, you're making your coffee a little bit sad. You got that sad look on your face, like, aw, I thought they cared about me. They don't care about me anymore. It's kind of funny. They used to think I was the biggest problem on the internet when I said women couldn't drive, but now everyone knows women can't drive, and everyone just agrees with it. So it's just like, oh, let him off. So now I just keep winning in court. Fun's over. I need to up the game. I had to do something else. The whole point of life is to explore the map of the world, right? What better level to the map than a Romanian dungeon? It's cool.
Well, congrats on getting your cars back. It's $40 million worth of vehicles returned.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. So, yeah, they even gave me my shit back. Like, where's the fun now? I am so over this case. People keep asking me about it, and they're like, oh, hey, Andrew, it's been a while. How's the case? Like, do you guys have any idea what it's like to go to court in Romania? Like, I don't even know what they're saying. I don't even know what's going on. I haven't read my indictment. I haven't read any of it. This whole 3-year saga, I've not read any of it. I don't know what I'm accused of properly. It's just like going through the motions. It's like either put me in jail or let me go. It is what it is at this point. I feel like just saying, Your Honor, you weren't there. So move to dismiss all charges, please. But I don't think that would work in a legal defense. If I spoke Romanian, that's what I'd say. But I don't. So I'm either going to go to jail or I'm not. But it looks like I'm not. So they gave me all my stuff back, so I'm richer. And it is what it is. What about you guys? What have you all been up to?
Chilling.
I saw you debating I saw some little homo earlier on your show. Who is he?
He wants to debate you next.
Oh, of course he does. Who doesn't want to debate me? He wants relevancy. What's his worldviews? What does he think?
Kamal over Trump. He believes that homosexuality is not morally bad. What were the other ones?
He thinks that Kamala's better on immigration. He thinks that being gay is good. He thinks that transgenderism is good.
This is one of the only things I disagree with Nick on, because Nick, I actually agree with 99% of the things you say. But don't you kind of feel like when you see little dickheads like that the white people just deserve to lose their country? Don't you just kind of look and go, I mean, I'm brown, right? So I'm on both things. But I just kind of look and go, yep, that's why you're why we're going to keep coming. We're going to your women. We're going to give them babies. We're going to keep walking across the border. You ain't going to do shit. Oh, wait, look, who's the defenders of your race? Who's the men who are going to stand up and defend us? And you got this dipshit. Then please come destroy us. So what the f*** do you want?
True. Well, that's why all the defenders of white people aren't even white. I'm Mexican. They all point that out. They're like, this guy's actually Mexican. And it's true. It's like, who stands up for white people? You, Sneeko, me, Zerko, who's Albanian. It's like Myron, who's Sudanese. And I'm like, I'm waiting for like the blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy to save us. But you get these people like that guy who was just on here. They're all pro-gay.
It's very interesting how it's the psychology of just begging for the decimation, hoping that they'll be eaten last by the crocodile. They think if I'm a big enough of a cuck, then they'll keep me as a little serf. They'll keep me as a little slave. And not understanding that the majority of white people are already marginalized in a country you're in the majority of. What's going to happen when you're the minority? It's over. It's over. It's over. Sneeko and I disagreed about this when I was saying that race is super real. It is, because humans are tribal. Humans are tribal, and I'm telling you, that's how it works. If you don't think humans are tribal, sir, Sneeko, go to jail. And you'll see right away how tribal it is. You'll see this group, that group, this group, that group. Humans are tribal. So when you have a country like America, where you have so much hatred towards white people, which has been instigated and pushed via the propaganda machine and via the educational system. They're currently a majority, but they're soon going to become a minority because they don't reproduce and the borders are wide open and little dickheads like whoever that was are begging for it. The future is bleak for the white man. It's true.
Well, I've never
and I say that as a brown man. The future is bleak. It's easy to see.
I've always agreed with Nick that race is real. That debate can never really be won. Race is real, but I don't believe that any race is superior to another race. And I don't think that's something that you disagree with as well. I think the wording of your tweet was a little bit, and it seemed like you understood why that is saying that white supremacists are totally right, why that's incorrect. I don't think that white people are better than black people. And there's a lot of people on Twitter, maybe I'd have never said that Nick was a white supremacist either. Nick wants to have a debate about this as well, but I don't think that any race is superior to another.
Well, he better be a white supremacist because he looks white to me, so you better be. I don't know what kind of cuck you have to be to not believe you're the baddest on the planet anyway.
Your mic went out. Oh. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Now we do. The last part we didn't hear.
I think being mixed race is the ultimate human. I think being hybrid is the best possible existence. If you're white and you're not a white supremacist, then you're gay. And if you're black and you're not a black supremacist, then you're gay. I believe being mixed race is the perfect possible way to be. I love being a daywalker. I'm black in jail. I'm white in court. I can do whatever I need to do. It's great. I don't see why you'd be anything else. And when the tweet I made was saying race is super real and that white supremacists are right, they're being replaced, and that their life is going to become very difficult. They are. That's completely true. I also believe that cultures are real, and I also believe that cultures derive actions and they derive certain habits from people. I believe that there's a culture in Congo which is different than the culture in the West. So you can sit and say white people act a certain way, black people act a certain way, or you can pussy out and say it's cultural, but that's the reality of it. And I also do believe, I'll tell you right now, I'll say it, black people we're better athletes. Just the truth. Look at the NFL, look at the NBA. We're better athletes. White people are more organized. Bro, take it from me. It's the reality of the game. I live with white and black people in my house. Half my family's black, half my family's white. I'm not saying one's better than the other. What's better depends on the scenario. You can't say if you're white, you should be saying white people are the best. If you're black, you should be saying black people are the best. But for me, I'm just sitting there saying, well, it depends on the scenario. If I'm in the Sahara, or if I'm gonna have a street fight, or if I'm in the desert or whatever, then I want to have all my black friends with me. If I have to go through my legal paperwork, I want my white friends with me. My black guys are like, this is long. Just tell the judge, just go jail, bro. Like, so there's different attitudes towards things. My tweet was pretty clear, I thought. My tweet was that white supremacists are right. They have a huge problem in their nations. Pretending you don't is the surest path to destruction. And white people pretending they don't are the biggest traitors of all, which is what I tweeted. That the white man's problem is not the black man as much as it is the treasonous cowards on their side. They're being betrayed by their fellow man, and mostly they're betrayed by their women. The white women are betraying the race completely. Take it from me, because they don't give a shit. So the white women are betraying the race.
You said white supremacists are totally right. I think they're wrong about outsourcing the blame on a lot of people. The blame will be about the Zionists, will be about the Jews, will be about the blacks that are coming in. I think there needs to be more self-accountability from white people, especially the ones that want re-immigration and all these things, to say, well, why is the birth rate declining? Is it because everything else is outsourced? Or do we need to blame ourselves for these problems?
I don't think it's wrong to blame. You have to place the blame, because the problem is we are being told by outsiders that we're racist and we're being disarmed by these things. And I don't know if it's even necessarily blame. Like when I look at immigration, you can understand why desperate people want to come to America and Europe. Of course they want to come here. We have better stuff. They don't like the Constitution. They don't like America. They don't like liberalism. They like welfare. They want housing. They want healthcare. And you get it. But there is clearly a reason why they're coming in. And it is true that white people are a big part of it, but there is also an active subversion. And like the first political act is to decide who's on your team and who's not on your team. And if we could say that the immigrants are not on our team because they want to come here and we don't want them here. And if you could say that the liberal white people aren't on our team because they're letting them in, you could also say that there's subversive elements like the Zionists or like liberal Jews, like Soros and others, that are poisoning the well, poisoning the culture, bringing in the immigrants. And it's really more about identification. But I do agree, there is a spiritual crisis. It does derive from, like Andrew said, white people are afraid of their own shadow. We're afraid of ourselves. We're afraid to say white supremacy because whites did dominate the globe for 500 years and did subordinate all the people and oppress all the people. And now we're sort of volunteer. It's like Andrew said, taking the back seat and saying, yeah, come on in, let it all happen. And so to the extent that we have to blame ourselves, we need to have a spiritual revival to say, white people can be active too. White people are going to be bossed around by women. They're not going to be told they're racist by minorities. They're not going to be neutered with these guilt trips, Holocaust museums and slavery museums and this and that. And I think that's why it's better to say white supremacy, even if it's not technically, I don't think people are inherently better or worse. But it's like, yeah, we're the shit. Yeah, we run shit. We went to the moon. We built everything. We created the world. White people are afraid to say that because it might offend the other. But the other's not afraid of offending us. They don't give a shit. And it's going to be South Africa, like Andrew said. If it's bad now, if there's grievance and resentment-based politics against whites now, what'll it look like when we're in the minority and they're running the government, they're running the institutions? They're going to kill us. They're going to kill us, take our shit. They're going to realize they messed up, and they're going to try and bring us back. That's what happened in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. It's kind of interesting because if all the white people, if black people say we want a black-only town, cool. If the white people say we want a white-only town, there's a mental breakdown. And the reason there's a mental breakdown is because people know that that white-only town will be a place everyone wants to go. So they'll say, why are we not allowed in? That's the reality of it. If you don't believe humans are tribal, then you're a fool. That's the reality of how it works. And as for talking about blaming others, when you go to battle, you have to identify the traitors amongst you plus your enemy. There are people who are deliberately trying to subvert Western nations, and they're trying to do it on purpose. And they're trying to thin the culture to the point where the only thing there is to do is chase money because they have the money. This is very interesting. I live in Romania, right? It's 98% white and it's 98% Romanian. Everyone's Romanian here. Even when it's a poor country, but it's very safe. You can walk the street, you can I drove a $5 million car, or wear $1 million watch, it's very safe. Why is that? Well, if you say to a Romanian, why do you think Romania is safe? They say, well, Romanians don't hurt Romanians. That's how they think, right? I'm not Romanian, but that's just their general attitude. Whereas and the culture's thick. It's unified by lots of things. All the people speak the same language. They watch the same TV shows. They have the same Christmas. They eat the same food. They have the same upbringing. They know each other, blah, blah, blah. America has none of that left. There's nothing that unifies us, not even a sense of history. We have different versions of history, and everyone disagrees on who's good, who's bad. Any opinion you have in America, there's a group of people who want you dead for it. It's bullshit. So the only thing that unifies is come to America, get rich. That's all there is. In all the Western world, come get rich, which is fine, except people aren't getting rich anymore. So this is why it's all falling apart. Plus, the people who want that to happen are the people who have all the money. So that everyone's just chasing what they have because that puts them more valuable, right? If I have all the money, I want everyone to chase my money. So we're not even, if you look at a country like America, they're not even trying to make people have a base belief and respect for the country anymore. At least in Dubai, which everyone goes to. Because you want to talk about immigration, you can talk about Dubai. Dubai is 80% immigrants. And there's no racism and there's no problems. So, well, that's because everyone turns up and they behave themselves because they're shit scared. 2, they feel lucky to be there. 3, yes, they get money. But the first 2 are respect for the law. And secondly, they feel lucky to be there. Nobody in Dubai talks bad about Dubai. Nobody. You can't find one. Try. Because they respect the place. Yeah. America's now fallen to such disarray. There's no respect for it. When I go to America, it just looks like a dump. I'm from Romania. I live in Romania. It looks better than America. So, like, if America wants to pull off this immigration thing, that's fine. But you need to fix all your infrastructure. You need to have people respecting the place. You need to have people respecting the flag, no matter what. Or you need to be instantly deported. You need to have something that unifies people. At least be unified behind the flag. If you're not unified by anything else, if you're not unified by race, religion, culture, whatever. You need to have something. What does America got? We can make money. That is it. So what's going to happen when the money dries up? Well, look at the democratic cities. You'll see what happens when the money dries up. Everyone's doing drugs because they believe that there's some rock star. Why? We talk about, this is very interesting because we talk about poverty making people do drugs. I live in the poorest country in Europe. There's no drugs. So what America has this, its Achilles heel, its strength and weakness is the same thing. It's this individualism. That's why you have so many fantastic entrepreneurs. That's why you have so many fantastic athletes. It's true. But it goes the other way. When you tell every single dipshit he's special, then he deserves a special existence. And if he doesn't get it, he ends up on heroin. You don't have these problems in other countries because not everyone's told they're special. You think Ching Chang in China's told he's special? Work in the factory, sir. That's your life. Cool. Done. So, like, America has these huge cultural issues. And the more tribalized it gets, the worse it is going to be for white people. And the reason I'll actually say that is because I think the white people they're constrained by their tolerance to the point where they're neutered. They have no balls. They have no balls left. And it's a power vacuum. And the power vacuum is going to be filled. That's what's going to happen. The white people are least likely to be violent. They're the least likely to riot, the least likely to complain. If they do something, it's done in such an organized, nice way that nobody gives a shit. So it is what it is. How do we expect this trend to end besides the decimation of the white race? It's pretty obvious for me to see. I'm saying as a brown man, this is just obvious to see. Plus, the game's not fair. And the game's not fair because a lot of this comes down to reproduction. And the beautiful thing that built the Western countries that we want